guys, and welcome to outside my house. It was a beautiful day outside, and I was actually eating breakfast, and I looked at the soil in this beautiful big monstera here, and it didn't look so good, and I realized it hadn't been potted in probably almost a year. So today that's what I'm gonna do while I talk to you guys about no-buys. So it's in a beautiful plant stand that I got from HomeSense, and I'm hoping I don't have to move the pot any bigger because I really like it in this stand. This plant is tied in with a little stake here, and of course I don't have scissors. I'm so lazy, but I have a saw. So I'm gonna saw the twine. We're gonna saw the twine. There we go. Watch me need scissors in 2 minutes and have to go get them anyway. Just gonna kind of explain and then I'll get into the no-buy thing. So I'm really gonna use mostly just Miracle-Gro, and it is moisture control, which sucks, but I'm gonna add a whole lot of perlite. Alrighty guys, so I'm back with some twine, perlite, and scissors, just in case I have to tie this up again. And yeah, let's just get into it and see where this is at. So I used a wood stake that has these disgusting bugs on them. They look like a millipede of some sort. I don't know if it'll focus, but there's like a little bug thing right there, and another couple of them right there. Anyway, there's some bugs there. This is disgusting. The fact that there's little like bugs in there, I don't even know what they'd be classified as. They look like a centipede of some sort. I do not want that in my plant. So thank goodness that I took it outside, because those are outside bugs, and that is going in the wood pile. Don't worry, it hit the wagon of wood over there. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be gross. Maybe I should add some gloves. Oh, I don't like this. Okay, it looks like actually like one of the stems is rotted, so I'm actually glad that I decided to take this apart. Anyway, I started sometime in March, and I said, man, you know, everybody's doing no-buys. I kind of want to give it a try. And I did it for 2 weeks, and I didn't buy any plants or anything like that. It didn't even faze me. It was honestly just like a little trial. I had a doctor's appointment in Toronto, and my boyfriend and I decided that we would do like a whole day thing. So we were gonna go there. We ended up stopping to somewhere to pick up a hamster cage from Facebook Marketplace because I needed to redo her cage. A bunch of things like that, and then we decided we were going to go to Kim's Nature and also pick up a plant that I found on Facebook Marketplace, and I got a Florida Ghost for like $75 for like a 1-leaf cutting, and it was pretty rooted, so you know, I felt good about that. And I bought those plants. I bought that, and I bought an African violet, a really cool African violet from Kim's Nature. Bought a couple plants, and then after that day, my boyfriend and I decided to go on a no-buy together. And we decided that we were going to not go to any like restaurants, like fast food places. We were gonna try to like bring lunches to work and things like that, so that we weren't rotted chunk. So that we weren't spending so much money. I realized how much money I was spending, and I thought, you know what, like I need to be a little bit more responsible about how I, buy plants and things like that. And it was getting a little out of hand. It wasn't any, serious issue, but, it's important to think about the money that we're spending and making sure that our priorities are being taken care of first before our hobbies and things like that. So we decided we'd go on this no-buy together, and we kind of had these rules set out, and we were going to go from March 25th to April 25th, and that was our thing. And about 2 weeks in, I work at a garden center, and I decided that I was going to buy a couple plants from work because Hoya carnosa compacta was a plant that I have always really liked, but I was so mad that mine at home wasn't growing because it's a variegated one, and I've had it since September. It has done nothing. So I mean, this is what, April now, so September, October, November, like 7 months, and it hasn't done anything. So anyway, decided that I wanted to get that, and oh, I found a sport variegated monstera at my work. It was a small plant, not fenestrated yet. It was the newest leaf, so I mean, hopefully it'll continue, but I just thought it was beautiful and I really wanted it, so I got it. And I also got some pots for them, and I thought, okay, this is it. Well, then, you know, certain influences on social media, and you start to want certain plants. And you know what, I had a pink princess philodendron last year, and I traded it for a varicosum. I sent it to somebody and she sent me a varicosum, only the varicosum didn't make the trip. So unfortunately, it didn't survive, but her pink princess is doing well now and it's putting out new growth, so I'm really happy for her. And she actually, the sweetheart that she is, offered to go to her local garden center or wherever she is and get me a varicosum. I don't know about local garden center, but she was gonna get me one or give me another cutting of hers, which is so sweet. But anyway, so ever since I didn't have that one, I really missed it and I kind of wanted another one. So I've been looking on Facebook, and some people in Plant Me Ashley's Discord were getting new ones, and I, you know, really liked it. So I was like, you know what, I'd been looking on Facebook Marketplace, but wasn't really willing to spend anything. I found one I really liked, but the lady was in Quebec, and that cutting was already taken. It didn't even have that much pink. It was just dark, nice dark red leaf, and it had, you know, some pretty nice splotches of pink. So anyway, I wanted it and I didn't get that, and I saw another one just on Facebook Marketplace, not even in any plant groups, and it was $120. Actually, it was $250. And I asked her if she would take $150, and I normally don't like to lowball this much, but the big roots didn't look the greatest. The big leaves didn't look the greatest. So I asked her if she would take $150, and she said you can have it for $120. She went down even lower. She said, I'm so sorry, like I just don't want to sell you a plant where the leaves aren't, like, you know, doing well. The biggest leaves might just kind of die, so I don't want to give you that plant for that. So I'll see if I can insert a picture here, or maybe I'll do like a little tour after we pot this of the plants that I ended up getting on my no-buy. But anyway, I got that plant, and then that was going pretty well until I was online, and there was this store called Stone City Tropicals, and I was just on Instagram actually, and I'd been wanting to get a plant from them for a while because they just looked so good. Everything they had just looked amazing. So I really wanted to buy a plant from there, but I wasn't going to because I'm on a no-buy. But then I saw an Anthurium forgetii, and it was the most amazing forgetii I have ever seen. And it's one of those plants where you just know, like, okay, this is the plant that I want. And I debated with my boyfriend because we're on this no-buy thing together, and I had already broken it a couple times. And I really wanted to, you know, do the right thing and not buy it. But at the same time, I didn't want to feel bad about treating myself to a plant that, you know, I could afford and that was in really great shape, and it's a good word. I didn't want to lose out on the opportunity of getting this like really awesome plant just because I was on a no-buy. So he agreed that, you know, if you really love it, get it. Just don't buy any plants for a while. And I thought, you know, this has been a really good start to a no-buy. Maybe I'll take it seriously and I actually will do a full month. And so I've watched a lot of videos of what other people say, and they've been saying no-buys are kind of controversial because they can be kind of negative, and I didn't want it to be anything negative. They said, a couple people like Plant Me Ashley said that it just didn't feel right for her because, and this is just from memory, so if I get this wrong, I'm sorry, but what I inferred from what she said was that, you know, she didn't want to feel bad about buying a plant. If she really liked a plant, like she found a couple plants throughout her no-buy, because she's like a big plant YouTuber, and she, you know, goes around and does these plant tours all the time, so she sees way more plants than I do. And, you know, if she sees a plant she really likes, she didn't want to feel bad about buying that plant because, you know, plants make you happy, and if you can do it and you're in the right financial space, then great. And I think a no-buy was just a really good thing for me because it started to make me more mindful of how I spend my money. I'm going to take a quick break and wash off these roots and dump this mat of soil. And then I'm going to probably trim some more of these roots and we'll get back to the video. So I'm back. I've washed the roots off. There's still some soil in there, but I'm gonna still pick through it while we talk. I guess while I talk and while you listen. So yeah, anyway, the no-buy was a way for me to figure out what really meant the most to me and what really deserved my money more than anything. So I want to try to make sure that, you know, the plants that I do buy are plants that I really love, plants that really make me happy, and things that make me happy, and that I'm not, you know, buying plants and then not buying other like necessities that I do need. So it's a way for me to get my priorities straight. About that, I had an Amazon delivery driver come through my driveway to drop off a package while we're talking about not buying things. As you guys know, I do have an Etsy shop, and so I do tend to buy, I have to buy things on Amazon for the shop. I have to buy supplies like moss, and I have to buy dowels to make moss poles and things like that. So I do have to still make purchases, but the purchases that I did make were mostly for the shop, aside from that Pink Princess, African Violet, the Florida Ghost, and then the Hoya Compacta, and the Sport Variegated Monstera. And then the other day, my boyfriend got me a Pothos and an Epipremnum Marble Queen and a Stromanthe Magic Star. And then I bought myself the Forgetti Eye. So no-buy didn't go so well plant-wise, but I did learn a lot. And that's kind of what I'm here to kind of talk about, is just what I learned. And really, for me, it was a really good experience because I was starting to make better decisions about, hold on, I'll turn it down so you guys can see the plant better and what I'm doing. But so I learned a little bit more about, you know, what really means the most to me, what I would most want to spend my money on, that kind of thing. And I think it was really good for me because a lot of times in person, I would just, you know, buy a plant because I could kind of thing, rather than taking time to think about it. And I think, you know, my mom always asked me, you know, don't buy anything online you wouldn't buy in store. But for me, it's kind of the opposite, because I actually, when I buy something online, I take a lot of time to think about it. Whereas when I'm in store, I don't really have the time to think about it. So I'm actually taking more time and being more responsible when I buy things online. However, I understand that when it's online, you can look at it at any hours of the day. And if you're buying too many things online, well, that's not good either. But for me, I really like online shopping because it gives me a way to, for example, Florida Ghost. You know, there are not any stores around me that carry a Florida Ghost. So I kind of have to go online on Etsy or Facebook Marketplace or something like that to try to get my hands on one of those types of plants. So when I'm gonna go online, I can do research. I can research the shop, I can research reviews, I can ask for photos of the plants, roots and stuff. Whereas when you're in a garden center, you can't really just like take out the roots. I mean, you could. I don't know. I liked it. I kept track throughout the no-buy. It was Plant Me Ashley kind of did a no-buy video, and she said that she kept track of everything she almost bought. And so I did the same thing. And I was pretty shocked at the amount that I almost spent. So I went ahead and washed the roots again. So now I'm comfortable with this root system, and we're gonna start making soil. I would say it was a lot better, and we did a lot more eating at home, a lot more of cooking, which I really enjoyed. A lot more things that we should be doing. So I really like the aspects of the no-buy for like the non-plant related things especially. I think it was just really good to refrain from buying a whole bunch of things that, you know, aren't necessary, and to realize, you know, we have food at home and we don't need to go out all the time, but it is certainly a treat, and it is enjoyable to be able to go out a lot of the time as well. I never limited myself to not buying anything, but the goal was to not buy anything. And I think by thinking of it in more of a positive light, it enabled me to learn more about the experience, and learn more about what was most important to me to buy. And I didn't feel bad about myself when I did buy things. And I think that's what's most important, is to allow yourself to buy things, even on a no-buy. Allow yourself to buy things you know, if the goal is to try to do a whole month without buying anything, then, you know, obviously try not to buy anything. But if you do, it's not the end of the world. You can always start another one. You can always retry next month. It's not, you know, something that you have to do. But I think it was a good challenge for him and I to try to just see what we could do, because I noticed I was making a lot more plant purchases than in the past, and I was starting to get a little out of hand with it. And I wanted to just make sure that I'm buying plants that mean a lot to me, and they're really special. And I tried to start amalgamating my plants to make sure that I'm only keeping plants in my collection that I do in fact really enjoy. And I think that's been a really special, it's been a really good thing. I like it. And it makes me feel really good. And I was so empowered when, like, at work I saw this Alocasia dragon scale, and it's $150, but I get like a discount, so it would have been around $100 probably. And I didn't buy it, and I was so proud of myself. There was something else that I didn't buy that I was gonna buy, and it was so liberating to just walk out of the store and not buy it. Oh, it was an Anthurium crystallinum at Kim's Nature. I saw they had large ones for $90 and small ones for $75. And the small ones were like babies, and the big ones were like pretty big leaves. But the one that I really wanted wasn't rooted, and so I was like, I'm not gonna buy something that's not rooted. And I almost convinced myself to get the small one, because at that point it was kind of like, well, do I want that Anthurium or do I want an Anthurium crystallinum type of thing? And I didn't end up buying it, and I was really, really proud of myself. I ended up getting a $6 African violet instead of spending like $70 or $90, and that was awesome. And that's what honestly started the no-buy for me, was the fact that I almost bought something so expensive but didn't. So I was really, really proud of myself for that. And that felt so good. And I was like, I want to continue this. I want to keep doing this for another month. I want to continue this. So gotta make more soil here. So I think for me, the no-buy felt great every time I didn't buy a plant, which is awesome, because normally I would only feel that sensation when I bought a plant. So to be able to not spend any money but still get the same sensation was amazing. And it also kind of helped me to appreciate the plants I already have, which is really good. I loved that about it. I started paying more attention to my plants. It's not about how many you collect, or if you have more plants or better plants than the next person, but honestly, it's about the care that you give your plants. And you know, that's what I'm doing right now. You know, I have more time to check out my plants and sit with them, and then I notice things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, that doesn't look good, and then I can change them. And so I think that's, you know, I think that's the best part about it. So if you guys want to do a no-buy, I would not discourage it. I would say it's a great idea, but I think it depends on the mindset that you have when you go into it. For me, it was the like empowerment of not buying a plant that actually started me wanting to go on a no-buy, because I said, this is amazing. I love this. I feel so good for saying no to this plant, you know? And a lot of things can be, you know, it's an addiction too. Shopping is an addiction, and so like a lot of people can, you know, get addicted, and they can go into debt over plants. And I would, you know, never recommend that. Always, you know, make sure you have enough money to buy the plants, and make sure it's still a hobby and it's not a competition, because I think that can get in the way a bit too, especially if you have friends into plants as well. It can get into a bit of a competition. And just keep in mind to, you know, get plants that make you happy and that you really enjoy seeing, instead of it being like a huge competition of who can get the most plants first. Because personally, I really love the feeling that I get when I do collect plants, and I want that feeling for the rest of my life. And if I have all of my wish list plants now, what is that going to give me in the future? What is that going to do for me? I'm going to own everything I want now. Of course, there's going to be new plants that come along all the time, but I think it's really important to just take it as a pace. And they call it a plant journey, you know, because it's a journey and it's a collection. It happens over time. It's nothing that just happens, you know, in a month or a couple months or a year, you know. It's something, it's a lifelong commitment to take care of these amazing things. And I think sometimes we take it for granted by just wanting the next cool plant or wanting, you know, whatever. So I think it's important to just think about what we have, appreciate what we have. You know, I started to look at this plant more carefully, and you know, it just gave this like beautiful big leaf, and just everything looks so gorgeous. And I also noticed the growth was coming out smaller, so that's why I wanted to repot it. But what is that? Oh, and then like this new leaf is coming out, and it's gorgeous, and so everything just looks amazing. I have some soil on it, but I'm gonna wash it after. But it just looks so good. And I don't think I'm gonna put it on a pole anymore. It did have that as a support because when I got it, it was actually a much bigger plant, and I've taken so many cuttings from it. So I'm gonna kind of let it go crazy again. I'm gonna let it do its thing. But yeah, so here she is all potted up. I'm really happy with it. I am going to put it in its saucer. I'm gonna give it a water, and then I'll put it back into its pot. My sister actually just brought me an Amazon package, so I guess I'm gonna open it like while we finish talking about the no-buy. But anyway, I think that was the best thing for me, was the non-plant related things. And then I didn't feel bad about when I did buy something, and I think that's the most important thing. But my boyfriend and I did it together, and I think that's what's really important, is to have someone else that's doing it too, so you can motivate each other. You know, we were like, what are things that we can do as a couple to go out without spending money? We went on more hikes, we went on more walks, we played catch outside, we, you know, played golf. That was one thing that we decided we could do, is play one round of golf together each week. And just at like our course that cost $20, not like a really nice golf course. And even if it was just 9 holes, like that's kind of what we decided we were gonna do, was just like one thing of golf each week. So we were able to do things that we really loved while doing the no-buy. And I think that is what's really important, is to just kind of, I don't know, I made more connections with things that I already have in nature. You know, spring is here, it's nice to be outside, it's nice weather now. And I think that's really what I enjoyed about it. Here's what I bought on the no-buy. I bought some pumice. Actually, I'm getting a philodendron mame next week, a trade, not a buy. And this pumice was not supposed to come until the 20th of April, but today is the 14th, and it came today. And it's looking like they gave like a bunch of tiny bags. Crushed pumice stone, 2 quarts. Crushed pumice stone, 2 quarts. 2 quarts, 2 quarts. That's 8 quarts. Huh. Well, I have my pumice, and now you'll get to see it in another video where I make pon, because I'm really excited to make pon. My pink princess I want to pot up in pon, and I'm gonna put my mame in pon too. So stay tuned for that video. This is really fun. I'm actually excited because this wasn't supposed to come till the 20th. That's everything that happened to me in my no-buy. Sorry it was a little ranty. Didn't want to just sit here and talk the whole time. So it was still kind of planty related, which I think is kind of good. I hope you guys learned something. Let me know what you guys think. Have you guys gone on a no-buy? How has it gone for you? Was it a positive or negative experience? Me? Positive. I learned a lot, and I'm going to try it again. I want to try to do it again for the month of April. It's going to be my boyfriend's birthday in May, so I want to try again to just limit my spending, and I think it's something that I'm going to kind of take with me always. Anyway, that is going to be all for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down and let me know why. I'm always looking for ways to improve and make my videos interesting. And yeah, thanks so much, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.